For example, a really large hematoma in the forehead. It's, oh, no, we have to stop that. But you could actually allow that to compete because our forehead bone is actually one of the strongest bone in our body. That's what a lot of people do headbutts, right? My name is Dr. Jimmy Wang. Work out of my own clinic in Taiwan here in Taipei. So it's Dr. J's clinic. How we started in combat sports was one championship came to Taipei about maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And my brother had several BJJ or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu dojos or clubs. And then through one of our acquaintances, they were looking for athletes to compete, local athletes, because one of their principles is to promote local heroes, right? But so they asked my brother, who's also a doctor training in emergency medicine. And he said, no, we don't have athletes for mixed martial arts, but we have doctors and we know resources. And they're also just beginning to look for medical resources, hospitals here to receive, athletes if they do suffer injuries. And that's how we kind of started in as Ringside physicians. We've been doing that from then to now. And with motorsports, I've been getting into just recently. For about the past year here in Taiwan. But I have been a long time racing fan. I ride a motorcycle myself, a road bike, and also off-road bikes. Kind of like combat sport or aesthetic medicine, it's very subspecialty. So a lot of these, we kind of stumble into it, even though we have interest in it. But these sports have been long going, right? But this field is not as many people know about it or know how to get into it. Due to the high speed, obviously broken bones are the most often seen. But the thing is, we're doing more research of injuries that are not immediately apparent. For example, in both ringside or combat sport medicine or motorsports, it's concussions. It's something a person could appear very well on the outside. They could converse with you regularly, but deep inside in their brain, there might be injury slowly developing. For example, there's what we call CTE. Example of this would be Muhammad Ali, or what we call punch drunk syndrome, where in the later years of his life, he started talking, slurred speech, unsteady gaits. So what we want to do is prevent this. Even in motorsport, with all the hard acceleration, decelerations, some of the G forces are, you could be pulling three Gs or even more that accumulates, slowly. So how do we, prevent this, or how do we catch these early on? And a lot of athletes, they don't know about this, or they're not aware of this because it happened insidiously, very slowly. So they want to compete, and they're competitive natures. That's why they're some of the top athletes, and they work through or they play through their injuries, they compete through their injuries. But what we want to do is that prevent this, and doing more research and more testings to ensure that they don't get to that point. Time is the essence. Sometimes we do, for serious injuries, we need immediate intervention. One special part of our role is that we determine what injuries are critical and what injury are non-critical that the athlete can continue to compete. Some injuries might look very mild on the outside, but if we allow them to continue to compete, it might turn into a serious injury. And some series appear, to the layman or to the people not in the medical field, it might look very grotesque, or like, for example, a really large hematoma in the forehead. It's, oh, no, we have to stop that. But you could actually allow that to compete because our forehead bone is like one of the strongest bone in our body. That's what a lot of people do headbutts, right? But underneath, there's not really a lot of serious nerves or vessels that could lead to more like debilitating diseases and stuff like that, injuries. Yeah. Sport medicine is really big in general. There is a specialty and a fellowship, what we call postgraduate training after medical school, or even after your specialty, where you do more. But I think most people are more familiar with maybe medical doctors for Olympic teams, for NBA or NFL. And not a lot of people know more, for example, mixed martial arts, which has come onto the scene really strong only in the past few years, right? With UFC in the West and one championship on the East. Two big organizations, FIA have their own medical institute or medical safety board. And I'm sure a lot of motorsports areas have these. And in terms of combat sports, we have called Association of Ringside Physicians. Yeah, so we're trying to set a standard because a lot of the science is new. So there's still a lot of research that's going on, ongoing, and that we can do. I think a lot of international events, the standard is there. A lot of work still needs to be done, but it's marginal return because like I said, on the previous maybe 16 years, what F1 has done, or what a lot of Dr. like Professor Sid Watkins has done for motorsport safety, or what there's an International Council of Motorsport Safety. They have done a lot. So anything that can be done is maybe incremental, very small returns, but we still need to keep going. But I think the bigger challenge is for local levels or regional, or even some nations that haven't had that many experiences. So we want to bring the standard or bring training. For example, in we're setting up here in Taiwan, associated with our Emergency Medical Society and Association of Ringside Physicians, to do more training for doctors, because these are even medical staff or personnel are aware of these. So we want to do, I think, more training needs to be done. And also local circuits, local promoters, they need to be aware of the safety and the inherent injuries. Because a lot of the serious injuries are amateurs, unfortunately, because either they don't have the resources, they don't have the knowledge, or they don't even know that we provide these services that we can provide. So we want to do, to bring it to the more of the masses. I think that's the challenges we have, to educate.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your regular dose of Asian health information.